If you enjoy this video or find it informative, I would ask you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell beside it. Leave a comment and maybe hit the like button on the video. That just helps this video do a little better, helps this channel grow, and I would love it if you could become a part of the community here by getting involved on a daily basis as I upload videos every day. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you today on this episode of the Hoggcast? We have for you Portland's City Commissioner. This is this lady here, you can see. Now, she is very keen on defunding the police in your area. She wants you to no longer have the ability to phone the police or the police to arrive, etc, etc. All very virtue signally, all very hollow, etc, etc. However, she has quietly, or she was hoping it would stay quiet, phoned the police on a Lyft driver who was giving her a taxpayer funded lift as a city commissioner in these liberal coastal elite cities. They have seen it to themselves that they have substantial expenses accounts and they can get taxpayer funding for lifts and all kinds of things like that. So she had an argument with her Lyft driver over the Lyft driver's window, and she phoned the police that she wants to defund because she wanted the police to come and force him to fix his stance on his own car window. It's ridiculous, honestly ridiculous, and we have the recording to go through it. And it just shows you how hollow the woke left really are. So we're going to get into the clip, but if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video around. Put notifications on all. It will just hopefully notify you when my videos go live, as they do pretty much every day. Now, if you could share this around, there's a little button there to share on social media to groups or friends, people you know. Only takes literally a second, and it really helps us content creators grow, because unfortunately YouTube is trying to smother independent content creators in favour of the mainstream media. So I really need your help to do that, because growth has stopped pretty much completely. Anyway, if you value my content, I would appreciate if you do that. Right, let's get into the video. Okay, so this is Joanne Hardesty, and she, as I said, is the police commissioner. The commissioner in Portland. She's very vocal. She's one of the biggest anti-police people in the city of Portland, and this is the recording, the dispatch recording of her phoning the police that she wants to defund in your area over a Lyft driver's window.
Well, I got a Lyft driver that decided he would just drop me off at a filling station and he wants me to get out, and I'm not getting out of the car in the dark at a filling station. Not happening. All because I asked him to put the window up, but I'm not leaving. He says I have to get out of his car, or he's calling the police, so I decided to call for help.
Okay. I mean, technically it's his property and you have a civil agreement. There's no crimes involved.
So she said she doesn't want to get out in the dark. This is after he dropped her off at a filling station because she was being belligerent about his car window. So she phoned the police. Now, immediately, if you are of a suspicious mind, like all conservatives are, as conservatives always ask questions, we always question the status quo, question the narrative. You may be wondering why she doesn't want to get out in the middle of the night in a very liberal area. I thought this was the utopia. I thought this is, bear in mind, this is Portland she's in. This is, you know what's happening in Portland at the moment. You know, in the middle of the night when evening falls, who take over the streets, who do all of the type of things. I've done countless videos. If you look back on my videos, you'll see the type of things that is going on in Portland at the moment. But we're told that everything's good. We're told that it's a utopia. But behind the scenes, this is the commissioner. She's very vocal about defunding the police. She has allowed the situation with the likes of Antifa and BLM to blossom all because of Orange Man Bad apparently, but it's very telling that she doesn't want to be let out in the evening at a gas station in her own utopia, her leftist socialist utopia of her own making.
He said he was calling the cops. I told him
it's not a crime to call the cops.
Well,
I mean, I could have the officer. What was that?
I said, I am not going to allow him to leave me on the side of the road. I paid for a ride, and he canceled it. He says he canceled it. Yeah. So I'm just going to sit here until he sends me another ride. So,
do you understand that only you can order another ride?
Well, I didn't cancel the ride. He canceled the ride.
He cancelled the ride, and you can hear him in the background. I'll try and enhance the audio so you can hear him in the background. He's calm. The Lyft driver is calm. You can hear him in the background saying, "That's right." Now, he cancelled the ride because you, lady, were being belligerent towards him and attacking him on his stance about his own car window. You phoned the police because of car window, okay? And these are the people you want to defund.
Which is his obligation as a human being on the face of the earth to cancel a contract like that. It's not a crime. That's part of your user license agreement when you accept taking rides with strangers. So I can have an officer come out, but they're not going to be able to make him stay there.
Right. I mean, he can't go anywhere because I'm not moving until another car comes. So
this just shows you how she has this. I'm a politician. I make the decisions in Portland. I'll tell you what it's like. Remember the depictions from Arabia in like the Dark Ages or even Antiquity, and you had a group of people, serfs, with a litter on their shoulders. There was like 6 people or 8 people carrying a litter all on their shoulders, and you had a really obese woman sitting on it, and she was like nobility or royalty, and she was like, "I'm not going anywhere until, you get another litter for me." This is the same thing. Human nature really never changes. Times might change, technologies might change, but people, I'm afraid, do not change. And it's the same thing. She says she's refusing to get out of his car. This is the so safe streets of Portland. It's in the evening. Night is fallen, and we know the types of people that come out in Portland at night. They've been making it very clear when they shout, "Whose streets? Our streets." They've made it very clear who owns the streets. And you, lady, have made it very clear who you don't want to own the streets, or at least police the streets. And now you've had an argument with your own litter carrier over his opinions on his home car window.
Alright, well, the officers come out.
Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I've got a customer that I canceled the ride.
So this is the Lyft drivers. He's now phoning as well because obviously he's thinking, "I better do this." You know what it's like. He doesn't want to get rammed. Railroaded, sorry, is I think the correct term. So this is the Lyft drivers phone call.
I'm a rideshare driver and canceled the ride, and I'm taking her off the freeway to the filling station so that she can order another ride. I canceled the ride, so she's no longer, involved or engaged with me. She's refusing to get out of my car.
Okay.
So I just need somebody to tell her she can't. She's happy to get another ride. She can perfectly do that.
Yeah.
With another driver, but she's refusing to do that.
And she's in your car now. Are you in there with her?
Yeah. I'm just sitting in my front seat. She's in the back seat. I can step out of the vehicle if you'd like me to do that.
Oh, no, that's okay. And she's already called us. Is that right?
Yeah, she called.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a call entered, and Richfield police officer is dispatching a call as of right now. Unless they get diverted for another emergency or whatnot, they should be coming to you. Does she have any weapons or anything like that on her?
I doubt it.
Okay. All right, she hasn't been violent or anything like that, right?
No, she's just refusing to get out of the car.
Okay. Looks like they are driving there to you now. If anything changes before they get there, I want you to give us a call back, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, officer.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So his demeanor is very agreeable. His whole attitude is much more honest than what we got from the self-appointed royalty who is sitting on the litter. The litter driver or the litter carrier is saying, look, you know, she can't stay in the car. She's at a gas station. She can order another ride. She's digging her heels in. And I'll tell you something, it's people like her that they do this all the time. They make things 1,000 times worse for themselves than they need to be because they habitually dig their heels in all the time in any situation. You know, I watched a video, a really excellent video. It's only short, but it was I think his name's Freeman, David Hoffman. Oh no, Hoffman. I'm sure it's Hoffman. David Hoffman. I think it's David Hoffman. And he's been recording things for ages. I mean, decades. And he uploaded a video to YouTube of New York City union members, truck drivers, that type of union. I think they call it a Teamsters union. And they were having negotiations, rather lively negotiations with the city of New York. This was 1965, and the difference in tone, even though they were being lively, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but they were aggressively putting their points across when they were debating. But when one person, no matter how animated he was, spoke, the other person stopped and listened. They put their points across in an articulate, if not overly excitable way. And the arguments were based on fact and logic and reasoning. Not like today, like we see here, where it's just like a sea of petulant children in adult bodies who dig their heels in. They refuse to get out of the car. They refuse to call another lift. It has to be their way or the highway, which is ironic considering they just left the highway in terms of the driver and the passenger, all because she had an argument over the window. She wanted him to raise the window. He refused. Just ridiculous, absolute ridiculous nonsense. So the article itself goes over how a Portland politician pushing to defund the police, claiming that most calls are not real crimes, recently called 911 herself over an argument with a Lyft driver who refused to close his window. So you can see this is a lot of people new to the culture war often hear us say that the woke left are the kings and queens, and yes, I did just assume their genders, kings or queens of projection. For those of you who are new, you probably, not to my channel, but I mean to the culture war in general, if you have heard the word projection be used a lot, but you probably haven't, you have a mild understanding of it, but you've never seen an example of it. This is an example. This is an example. Okay, this woke leftist politician who is railed against the police wants to defund the police because, and I'm quoting her here, that most calls are not, quote, real crimes, phoned 911 over a disagreement over a car window. That's not a real crime. This is an example of projection. That's projection. City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, who also oversees Portland's emergency dispatch system, has repeatedly campaigned to cut police budgets and shift money elsewhere, arguing that the force is inundated with unnecessary calls that don't involve crimes. Well, she would be strangely enough an authority on that. It's shocking to believe that people vote for these people. This is a big city, Portland. Oregon's a big state. There are people who vote for this. Vote people who can't tie their own shoelaces up together into positions of power. And then you sit there and you wonder why is the country going to pot? Why is my local community going to pot? I don't understand people who vote Democrat down the ticket. In the last election, they voted Democrat down the ticket. The election before that, and going back and back and back in these really urban ghetto areas. And then they sit there and say, oh, the problems are Republicans. My life's bad because of the Republicans. You've never voted for a Republican. In your city, in your state, your local school boards, everything, you've gone down the ticket, Democrat, but it's those Republicans over there who are at fault. Why? Because CNN said so. Her 911 call, first obtained by the Oregonian, showed her repeatedly demanding the force send out officers, even though the dispatcher insisted no crime had been committed. So we heard this from the phone call. So what we didn't hear is this part. When 2 officers finally arrived in a squad car, the city commissioner got out the lift and into another rideshare car that pulled up at the same time as the officers, the paper said. Hardesty later told the Portland Tribune that she proactively called police because as a black woman she feared having officers called on her would put me in danger. You called them. You called the officer. You called 911. We've just played the damn tape. Man, woman. I don't call 911 lightly. Oh, remember what I said about projection? But anything you hear before the word but is usually BS. But I certainly am not going to do anything that would put my personal safety at risk. But you're perfectly happy to put everyone else's personal safety at risk. Andy No's Twitter feed is full of smartphone footage of countless, now this has been going on for months, night in, night out, and that's the real reason why you phone the police. His Twitter feed is full of smartphone footage of other people's safety being compromised by your decisions. I don't call 911 lightly, but I certainly am not going to do anything that would put my personal safety at risk. She said, it's a lot harder when you are black or brown in America to make that decision. I don't think it is. If you can make that decision over a window, a car window, then you can make it over an actual crime. I'm very aware of how unsafe it is for a single woman to be travelling anywhere, especially in these very, this word here, tense times. Well, how can I put this? You're a politician, you're one of the people elected and who's in charge of Portland, which is beyond safely blue. It is ensconced in Democrat control. So any problems fall on you. You sit there and lament about safety whilst demanding that the police get defunded, all the while phoning them over a car window. You act like you aren't in a position to do anything. You're a politician. At least try to act like one. Anyway, I'll leave it there. What do you think of this? Let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't yet, please like the video, share this video around. It only takes a couple of moments. It really helps independent content creators grow their channels. Subscribe to the channel and comment below. Let me know what you think of this ridiculous story. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. If you enjoyed that video, if I could ask you please to subscribe to the channel, hit that little subscribe bar down below, hit the notification bell beside it and put it on notifications to all notifications. That will just notify you when I upload. I upload videos almost every day. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow.